Hey folks, here OS Reviews. You're watching our video unboxing and first impressions of the Lenovo Tab3 8 Plus. As the name suggests, this is an 8-inch Android tablet, which sells for around $160. It's actually originally only released in China, and you can only find it exported through GearBest at the moment, and it's a pretty fair price for a decent mid-tier tablet that includes an 8-inch full 1080p display coupled with 3GB of DDR3 RAM and a fairly impressive octa-core processor by Snapdragon. So it's certainly faster and better in terms of benchmarks than a generic tablet running on a MediaTek processor. On the back here, you have some basic info. This model comes with 16GB of built-in memory that you can see here. It also comes in a few other variants for slightly more, slightly less if you want to increase the memory. It includes Wi-Fi in addition to Bluetooth, runs on Android 6.0 with a light scan done by Lenovo, and there's also Adobe kind of technology built into the speaker system. It offers dual speakers on both sides of the tablet, so it makes for a fairly compelling multimedia and video watching experience. So let's take a quick look at what you get in the box. Removing the tablet and taking a closer look at that in a second, underneath there's access to the documentation, including the model number and some basic specs printed in Chinese. There's also an instruction manual, again, printed in Chinese. And finally, a quick start guide as well that documents some of the various features, this time both in English and in Chinese. That documents the various ports and where you can pop in an optional micro SD card to expand on that built-in memory. Finally, there's access to a standard micro USB cable for charging. It takes roughly 2.5 hours to completely charge this tablet. And there's also a standard US-based wall plug that uses a standard USB-based port on the other side. And that's it. So pretty decent packaging, but no additional accessories or extras included. Sliding it out of this plastic sheath, you can see it's very shiny. It's been coated by a layer of Gorilla Glass in the front, and there are a few stickers that advertises the various features, like the fact that it has Android 6.0 and dual speakers, which are nice, mounted on either side. It's not front-facing, but it's edge-facing, so at least it's not obstructed when you place it on a surface or a desk. The edge gives access to the power key and a volume rocker. It's a pretty thin tablet, as you can see here. The very top has access to the micro USB port for charging, one of the speakers, a 3.5mm port for headphones, and on the other side there's a little flap for the micro SD card slot for expansion, and that's it. So a very clean design. The bottom just has the second speaker, as you can see. The very back of the tablet has an interesting texture to it. It's a soft touch material that almost looks like sandpaper, the same stuff you find on a OnePlus One device, and it's very grippy and easy to hold, which is nice. It's nicely textured. There's access to the camera with an LED flash. Finally, some additional details about the model number printed on the very back as well. So a pretty clean presentation, but not anything too flashy or too different from other tablets on the market. Again, at around $160, this is a relatively affordable tablet. So for these specifications, you are getting a fairly powerful media consumption device. So it's going to boot up for the first time. Let's see how much power is left. And of course, we'll do a lot more testing and give you guys our impressions in the review coming out soon. Seems to boot pretty quickly. And we should peel off these stickers here. And again, one on the very top. So Android 6.0 is Marshmallow, and it's unfortunately not the latest Android 7.0, but nonetheless you can still run the latest games and the programs that you would want from the Play Store. Seems like a very typical boot-up screen that's going to ask us to set up our Google accounts and our Wi-Fi information when we first turn it on. From a first impressions perspective, it seems that the screen is very sensitive, it's easy to tap on and access things, and it also offers a pretty sharp viewing experience. It looks like the IPS screen offers generous viewing angles, and for the most part, it's a very sharp panel. And just skipping ahead through some of these Google services, there's also what looks like some information by Lenovo. If you agree to their user experience plan, they will. I also want to mention that yes, there is haptic feedback. So when you tap on something on screen, there's a slight vibration on the device that makes it feel like you're actually pressing on a real button, which is pretty nice. And now we're graded to the boot up screen, so you can see it's fairly clean and vanilla as far as being Android 6.0 Marshmallow is concerned. Not too much bloatware on here, but there are a few apps downloaded by Lenovo, some of their customizations in terms of how the widgets and the clocks look, and of course the wallpapers are also custom. Everything else seems to be fairly stock, which is nice. That means you can customize it with your own favorite programs and apps as you see fit. And overall, it seems pretty snappy from this first impressions perspective, and of course we'll do a bit more testing and come out with a more complete review soon. But anyways, this has been the Lenovo Tab3 8 Plus, a pretty good 8-inch tablet that offers better than expected specs for a $160 device. It certainly will rival other 7-inch and 8-inch tablets on the market, such as the iPad mini, especially if you're looking for an Android alternative to that. And of course, Lenovo is a fairly reputable brand name that already produces fairly good in terms of value smartphones that we've seen in the past. So we're excited to take a closer look at this and come out with more thoughts on it in a bit. So thanks for watching this video unboxing and first impressions here at OS Reviews. This has been the Lenovo Tab3 8 Plus.